The sand beneath Sergeant Lyra Hale's boots was stained crimson, though whether from ancient battles or her own fresh wounds, she couldn't tell any more. Her left arm hung uselessly at her side, 3 deep gashes running from shoulder to elbow, a parting gift from the Kratheen ambush that had decimated her unit. Her armor was cracked, her helmet long abandoned in the wreckage of the transport vessel that had crashed on this godforsaken moon. But Lyra Hale didn't come to the arena to die. She came because the alternative was worse. The Convergence had rules ancient and unbending as the stars themselves. When a warrior was captured, they had 2 choices: execution or trial by combat. Lyra had chosen combat, not because she believed she could win, but because dying on her feet was better than dying on her knees. That was the human way. The arena stretched before her, a massive circular pit carved into blood-red stone, surrounded by thousands of alien spectators representing 100 different species. They chittered, growled, and hummed in their various languages, all eager to see the wounded human fall. To them she was nothing, a representative of a species barely a century into the galactic community, soft and weak compared to the battle-hardened races that had warred among the stars for millennia. Lyra gripped her combat knife in her right hand. It was all she had left. Her rifle was destroyed, her sidearm empty, her grenades spent. Just her, a blade, and whatever stubborn human spite still burned in her chest. The arena gates opposite her began to rise with a grinding mechanical roar. Her opponent emerged from the darkness beyond. A Vrexian champion, 8 feet of scaled muscle and hatred. The creature's forearms each held a different weapon, and its reptilian eyes fixed on her with predatory hunger. The crowd erupted in approval. This wasn't a fight. It was an execution with extra steps. Lyra allowed herself one bitter smile. Well, she muttered to herself, at least it'll be quick. But then she heard it. A sound that shouldn't have been possible, that made her blood run cold and warm simultaneously. A roar. High-pitched but fierce, coming from somewhere in the lower spectator sections. A familiar roar. No, Lyra whispered, her eyes searching the crowd frantically. No, no, no. Rune, what are you? The small figure vaulted over the arena barrier with a recklessness that could only come from youth and fury. Rune landed in the sand between Lyra and the Vrexian champion, his small frame barely reaching Lyra's hip. His fur, midnight black with silver streaks that marked him as a rare genetic variant among the Kalari, bristled with rage. His claws, still small but wickedly sharp, extended fully. The cub's voice, amplified by the arena's acoustics, rang out across the stadium with a fury that silenced thousands. Who dares draw blood from my mother? The crowd fell into shocked silence. A Kalari cub no more than 5 cycles old standing between a human and certain death. Impossible, insane, unthinkable. But Rune wasn't thinking. He was protecting. Lyra's heart shattered and reformed in the same instant. Rune, get out of here, she commanded, her voice hoarse but firm. This isn't your fight. The cub didn't move. His triangular ears lay flat against his skull, his fangs bared in a snarl that would have been adorable if it wasn't so desperate. You saved me from the slavers. You fed me when I was starving. You taught me what it means to be brave. His voice cracked, but his stance remained firm. If you are not my mother, then I have no mother, and I will not watch you die alone. The Vrexian champion looked between the wounded human and the furious cub, confusion evident even on its alien features. This wasn't in the script. Cubs weren't supposed to interfere. This was a sacred right. But Lyra understood something the crowd didn't. Something that made her straighten despite her wounds. Something that reignited the fire she thought had died with her unit. Humans didn't give up, not when there was something worth fighting for. Rune, she said softly, stepping forward to stand beside the cub. If you're going to be stupid and suicidal, at least do it right. She shifted her knife to a proper fighting grip. Stay low. Go for the joints. And when I say run, you run. Understood? The cub's eyes, brilliant amber and filled with tears he refused to shed, met hers. Understood, mother. The Vrexian champion roared, done with the theatrics. It charged, weapons raised, expecting to cut down both the human and the foolish cub in one sweep. But humans had a saying that the galaxy was only beginning to learn. We're not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with us. Lyra moved first, using her smaller size to dive beneath the first axe swing. Her blade found the weak point in the creature's knee joint. She'd studied Vrexian anatomy during the war. The champion stumbled. Rune, following her lead, leaped onto the creature's back, his claws finding purchase in the softer scales near the spine. The fight was chaos. Lyra's wounded arm screamed in agony with every movement, her vision blurring from blood loss. Rune was thrown off twice, landing hard in the sand, but each time he got back up, snarling defiance. They weren't winning. But they weren't dying quietly either. The Vrexian raised its blade for a killing blow aimed at Rune. The cub, dazed from his last fall, couldn't move in time. Lyra didn't hesitate. She threw herself between them, her knife driving upward into the champion's throat with every ounce of strength she had left. The creature's momentum carried it forward, its blade cutting deep into Lyra's side, but her strike was true. The Vrexian champion fell gurgling. Into the blood-soaked sand, silence. Then, impossibly, a sound Lyra had never expected to hear in an alien arena. Applause. It started with a few, warriors who recognized courage regardless of species. Then more joined, until the entire stadium thundered with approval. The Convergence had witnessed something rare, not just a victory, but a bond that transcended biology. Lyra collapsed, Rune immediately at her side, pressing his small paws against her wounds, his tears finally falling freely. "Mother, no, please, I'm okay, cub," she whispered, managing a weak smile. "We're okay." Medical drones descended into the arena, another rule of the Convergence. Victors were healed, regardless of species. As the drones began their work, Lyra pulled Rune close with her good arm. "You're grounded for a month, you know that?" The cub's laugh was half sob. Worth it. Above them, the stadium continued its applause, and somewhere in the Convergence chambers, officials were frantically rewriting precedents. Because humanity had just taught the galaxy another lesson. We protect our own, even when our own have fangs and fur, especially then.